you can, come on in the room and let's have a chat for the next hour, be in and out of your space and time. Happy Monday. Happy month in. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's crazy. I'm gonna share this story with you guys. So shout out to everybody who fasted with us, man. Like, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm just praying you feel refreshed, you feel renewed. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm just excited about your obedience and just willingness to join us in this fast. Like I told you guys in the chat, like it just gave us so much strength to know somebody was in the trenches with us. And I know some of you guys, this was your first time doing the Daniel fast, and you was like, what did I sign up for? Why did I sign up for this? But I'm just praying that it really just transform your life, because every single time I do it, it does transform my life. So yeah, this morning I was taking my kids to school and I looked down and I saw that my ring was not on my hand. And a lot of times if my ring is not on my hand, I automatically know where I put it. But this morning I could not remember, like I couldn't remember taking it off. And so I was having like this little like panic moment, like, oh my God, did I leave my rings in Memphis? Like, and then I was like, no, just stop. Like, just stop. Just stop. There's no point in worrying about this right now. Like when you get home, you can kind of look around and just, allow the Holy Spirit to jog your memory. But right now it's like pointless to be worried about that. And you're taking your kids to school. And so I like fully released it. Like it was like a surrender type situation. It was like, this does not matter right now. Like it literally doesn't matter. And you like, that's your wedding ring. So right now I'm taking my kids to school. Like it literally does not matter. And I took my kids to school, came back home, and I had put lotion on my feet last night before I went to bed, because you can't be married with crusty feet in the bed. So I was Well, anyways, put lotion on my feet, and I took my rings off to put lotion on my feet, and my rings were sitting right there. And it was just a reminder that, and this is something that I have been learning in like just fully surrendering. And I feel like, that it was a big thing in the fast for me. It was completely surrendering to where you are and believing that there's a difference in a hunger and desire. So I'm not talking to the person who is lazy and unmotivated. I'm not talking to that person right now. Like you go binge watch mine, right? Like I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to the person who knows they give their all every single day and they know they show up. That place of surrender is where God, that's the peace that surpasses all understanding. It's the Philippians 4, 6, and 7. It's not worrying about anything, but praying about everything, telling him what you need, and then just thanking him for everything that he's done. And that's where you get that place of full peace, like for real, the peace that don't even make sense. Like it doesn't make sense that you should be so peaceful. That's where that peace comes from. And the only way to get there is from a posture of surrender and believing that God knows what he's doing. And God is never behind. And he always takes care of his kids. And ultimately, the only thing people are normally concerned about is what other people may think, or what you may think in terms of yourself, or worrying about what happened in the past and what you didn't do and what didn't come through, and sitting there trying to analyze, where did I go wrong? Like that is the tactic of the enemy. But if you really just put yourself in your heart in this posture of, I surrender all. Like, this is your thing. I'm doing my best every single day. I'm getting up. I'm doing my devotional. Like, I'm literally putting my best foot forward. If you say do this, I'm being obedient. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving my all here in this space. And that may be a personal conviction. Like, are you really giving your all? Like, are you really getting up and putting your best foot forward and fully giving of yourself every single day, which kind of goes great into what I wanted to talk about today. But when you put yourself in that position, it's like, you have to handle this. Like, this is not my situation. Like, I promise, like, I'm not perfect. And you know that because you made me. But I know you'll never leave me nor forsake me. I know that you told me not to fear and be courageous. I know all these things. And if I'm standing firm in this, I'm not worrying about nothing. Now, that don't mean I'm nonchalant. I am, on point, making phone calls, doing the things that I'm supposed to do. But ultimately, you've told me not to fear. You've told me not to worry. So why would I ever do that? And why would I allow the enemy to come in and take me out? But here's the thing. What I heard this morning was, if your heart is, okay. How many of y'all be like, me and God, we locked in, ain't no switching up. Like, we locked in. If your heart is closed off to people, your heart is closed off to God. And I want y'all to sit in that. Because y'all be like, now I don't do people. Boo, you don't do God. Because that is his thing. He loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. The world. So if you don't do people, you really don't do God for real. I don't know what kind of relationship y'all think y'all got, but in order to have an open heart towards Christ, an open heart towards Christ, period, you have to have an open heart towards people, which leaves you in a vulnerable spot. But he wants you in that vulnerable spot because he's your protector. It's like that. We were in Memphis, y'all, help Lord. And I took my kids to breakfast, and Zaire, he is so nice. I don't know, pandemic baby. He like being at home, but he nice. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And so he wanted to play ball with this old man. And I was like, Zaire, like, look here, like, what right now? Like, that is how our posture of our heart should be. I'm his protector. So I will make sure ain't nobody snatching my kids. Not that I shouldn't teach them stuff because he's 3, teaching him stuff, but I am his protector. He's just having that posture of being kind and nice to everybody. I don't want to take that away. So I let the boy play ball, and I'm sitting here just got to stare at him while he playing ball with this man. And he was so nice, like so nice. And then I was like, all right, come on over. Come on over, let's have a seat, but I don't want him to lose that posture of his heart. So that's how I'm opening it up today.
Hi, good morning. So coming from a place of that person that used to be like, I don't like people, like to just flat out be like, I don't like people. I used to say it all the time. And I had just made a post not too long ago and was like, yeah, I started this business for money. Like, I did not start this business to help people. Like, I didn't start this business to love on people. I literally started for the money. But as I began to, for real, grow my relationship with God, I realized how imperative it was to love on people. And how I don't want to necessarily say beneficial, but it really is. Like, it's a blessing to be a blessing, to just love on other people and help other people. And that's one of the things that I truly believe helped me grow as a leader, and still continuing to help me grow as a leader, is just really understanding how pivotal it is to just love on people, and then just understand that you never know who needs the love that you have, like you have, and nobody else can give that to whoever that person is that God called for you. One of the phone calls that I had today while we were making calls, the lady was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm really inconsistent, and you are super consistent with touching base with me. Like, I don't know. Like, I really need to do this, but I just need to make sure that you're gonna hold me accountable. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? Like, God, I thank you, because I came from a place of not being consistent. And for somebody on the outside to look at me and be like, I'm consistent, that shows that I'm growing. So even if I don't see it, and it's like, you know what? She maybe needed that from me. Like, there was something that nobody else could give her, and she needed that from me. So that really clicked for me this morning. And for you to say that, Rachel, is really good.
Hey everyone. So, Brittany, but how y'all doing? So I've been praying these last few weeks, well, this whole month, for God to check my heart posture and to touch my unbelief. I hope y'all can hear me. Cheyenne got this game over here going. Um, but the more that I pray for him to check my heart, I will see certain things that I need to change, or actually talking to people in a different manner, in a way of love, and just being in the women at the well and reading the chapter every day has been helping me, on top of my Bible plans that I do, and it's been helping me, and learning to connect with people more has been, I don't know. It's been a shift in me. And then, as Lydia was saying, the people that I do check up on or follow up with, once I give them that call or even doing them voice messages, they were like, oh my goodness, yes, I'll be following your journey. Like, I love the way what you're doing. You're being so consistent. Like, I'm like, oh Jesus, thank you. Okay, so I am moving forward and I'm not moving back no matter where I'm at. So learning to be my authentic self and like be who I am where I'm at as I push forward to go where I want to be.
Hey guys, I'm gonna hop in real quick. It was so good. From a person who I think all my life I've been that person who likes to give. Like I really do. I love people. Okay, I do. But for me, I had to learn how to release when people hurt me, because so that way I can continue to love people how I love to do it, and I find enjoyment in it. And so it's connected right when you said earlier when you said about your rings, Rachel, was like, hey, I gotta like release that. That's not even when we might get people on a day-to-day, like I'll get someone to curse me out. But then I'll get somebody like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you called. You're such a blessing. And God gives us what we need right when we need it. And so just continuously keeping that heart posture of having to release. And that's releasing consistently and always and everything. And that's even his people. Praying for them because like, okay, you dealing with something, but then release them because like, that's not me. That's not my responsibility. That's God's responsibility because those are his people. But this one.
That's so good, Cass. That is really good. So I always say, or we always say that you have to have a heart for helping other people in this business, or you'll never succeed. Like you'll never get to the point to where you actually want to get to if you don't have that heart for helping and serving others. And so one of the things that clicked when I was building to Diamond was that God placed these specific people in my organization, or connected them to me for a specific reason. And so it got to a point to where it was like, you can't be playing around with God's people. And like, that's when I was growing my relationship with Christ too. And I was understanding that he put us here to take care of his people. And as we take care of his people, he'll take care of us. And so it was like, he put these people in your place, in your organization or near you, because like Lydia said, you have something that they need. And every time I connect on a deeper level with my team and ask those questions and really get to a place of really wanting to understand them, I see more and more why we are connected, like literally, because I've overcome something or am overcoming something that they are dealing with right now. And so just understanding that your life, your testimony is literally for you to be able to help the next person get through or realize that they can overcome something. And like you said, Cass, I had got to a place even with my potentials where I was just like, oh my God, I'm like tired of y'all. Like literally like tired of y'all. Like y'all mindsets, everything. Like I'm literally like, I just wish I could delete my whole friends list type of thing. But then I read a devotional and it was saying like, Jesus came to sit with the sick, and he came to serve people, and everybody didn't even accept him. So if he came to sit with the sick and he came to serve people and he got rejected, like who do you think you are? Like, like you like, what do you think you're here for? You're here to do the exact same thing. And they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting Christ. And so again, it ain't your business. You're just supposed to love them and do what you're supposed to do. And then, God will work it out. And so, man, like it is a big thing to release, because it's like, you'll get to a place to where, like this analogy, like you treating your new boyfriend, a certain way based on something you dealt with your ex or in the past. Like you can't take that into the next relationship, the next conversation, the next, call or whatever. And when I was working as a pharmacy tech, I had to remember that like every transaction was a new transaction. So if a customer right before the customer I checked out pissed me off, like I have to let that go, because this is a new transaction and it's not fair for me to go into the new transaction with the residual of the last transaction. So man, you got to keep your heart fixated on Christ and understand that we give to give. and then we turn to him for whatever else that we need. So
Spirit is calling me to talk. Okay. So I have been reading this book, Woman Evolve by Sarah. I love me some Sarah. She like my sister in my head. But so pretty much I've been like marking this book up. Like I've been marking it up since I've been reading it. So pretty much she's just stating her intentions on even writing this book. So pretty much she's just like, my job is to help you dig until that well springs up and their version of you has no choice but to come forth. Their version of you is so powerful because of your vulnerability and authenticity. So pretty much she talks about Eve and how, you know, when she ate the forbidden fruit, how she was selfish and she wasn't thinking about anybody else, and humanity pretty much had to suffer with, you know, everything that came after. So big picture that I took away from like what I'm reading right now is our world was not given to just one gender to subdue. So pretty much like it's up to us to help people. It's up to us to like not leave anyone, you know, in the darkness. And if we can shine that light on somebody, then, you know, our living isn't in vain, pretty much. So I go on to say like the world like literally needs you. We need to be fruitful and multiply, not just with beautiful babies, but with incredible ideas and opportunities. That goes back to the business, that goes back to just shedding light on others when, you know, things are hard and the world is not how it used to be, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's not how it used to be, and everything is just going crazy almost, you know. So pretty much what she's saying is you need to fill the earth, you know, with God, and, you know, spread the word. And, you know, it's beautiful how everything unfolds, and just to help somebody else. I think is what I'm just trying to get to, just to help somebody else, just be open to others, just be open to, you know, doing what God has called you to do. And I really been like getting more into that, like in the last few days. Like I've literally been helping people with a lot of things. So yeah, pretty much. Yep.
I can share a quiet moment. Yesterday, before church, I was reading, I'm not going to read it to you guys. I was reading Luke 15, go read it on your own. And everybody probably heard this story about a guy leaving the 99 to get the one, right? We always see ourselves as the one, but never forget to see ourselves as the 99. So right now, a lot of us are in the place where we're the 99, not the one. And that's what the Spirit gave to me. He was like, you're not the one right now, you're the 99. And as the 99 are willing to take on the mission of going to find the sheep too, to bring them back to the 99. And then the 99 can tell the shepherd, hey, I got the sheep here. Now here, you can come back with us all. And so just that, like Rachel was saying, if you love God, like for real, as being a part of the 99, you're going to help him find the one. And the Spirit just blessed me so much before I went to church yesterday. Like my job now, I'm already the one, right? And so seeing yourself as the other part of the story, even like the prodigal son, we always see ourselves as the prodigal son, but not as the sons that were already there keeping their inheritance, right? And so now my job now is to bring the son back, bring the one back, right? I'm taking on that mission with God. And so powerful. Like we're not always the one. We're sometimes the 99, but it's a pleasure to be the 99. As the 99, that means I've been right with my shepherd. I've been connected to his provision. He's been guiding me, and I love him. And because I love him so much, right, I want the one to be able to experience what I've been experiencing. And then the second thing when it comes to serving people and connecting is like one thing that I've prayed even more for is I said, God, give me the patience to run after my customer like I ran after them before they press submit. It's kind of not easy. It's easier, or it's more on our minds naturally to run after the chase of getting them, right? It's almost like in marriage, right? The chase of getting them to say yes to our products, to say yes to the opportunity, that same like fight, like, oh man, I want them to sign the date. Like, right. Like I was like, God, help me to continue to chase after them, right? Because if retention is what will take us Black Diamond. Like literally that way it can compound, right? Our volume can compound and we're not replacing, we are saving it and putting things on top of it. And so it's like, man, I was like, man, God, give me that same fire to run after them and to capture them and to keep them when I've already got them, right? So it's like sometimes we give greater attention to getting the new, and it's easier to forget for the person who's already said yes, right? The person who said yes already told me that they already say, I trust you, I believe you, I will buy from you. Meaning I will keep trusting you, I will keep buying from you, I will keep believing in you as I keep doing more things. And so those more uncomfortable things, right? Like the FaceTime call when they get their products in, the going the extra mile and putting something in the loyal customer group so we can tell them to drink their water, to work out, like the totalness of the entire thing. And so it's like, man, God, give us the heart to chase after this distributor the way I was chasing after them. Like, man, come on, follow up Friday, right? Follow up Friday, like a mug, like you there, calling them, call sessions, all the things, right? To get them to say yes, right? It's like, now I want them to continue to say yes to me, because there is, let me tell you, rapport and clients will get you through the quote unquote, what they call slow seasons. That's how we thrive in a slower, that's how this season will carry on. And that's something that I'm telling myself, this is how this season of momentum will carry on, is me building loyalty with them right now. So when they only have $100 left, they're going to spend it with me. They're going to spend it with you because they're loyal to you, right? And how you've treated them, and you've helped them get results. You've helped them feel good. Even if they did not get the results that they wanted, because of how you made them feel and how you listened to them. And this is not me being their counselor, but this is me. One of my customers, she said, I don't know what to eat. And I said, I didn't have anything. I need more recipe. I said, what'd you eat yesterday? I said, eat it again until you can figure something else out. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? I was just knowing what I know, just being willing to share that. So that's all I have.
I want to jump in. What you said for the first part, that's so good. And like I said, we need to implement that as a squad. So having, like, we have call sessions for potentials. We literally need a call session just for our customers, like where we call our personal customers. You know, we call declines, but we don't have it for that to build the relationship. And so you may do it personally, but we don't have that space for our team. And so I'd love to implement and create that. That is so good. And y'all get into the page. Like those of y'all who share, thank you. Like, thank you, because that's a lot for me to carry by myself when it's everybody's customers. So when you're sharing recipes, you could literally be like, once a week, I'm going Pinterest and grab a recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you see a recipe, like go ahead and just save it. Or you got a workout that you're doing from YouTube, shoot, go grab that and share it into the page so that there can be all different types of things inside of that. Please do, please do. But I want to go back to what Keisha said about the being the 99 and not the one. For those of y'all who don't know that story about the prodigal son, okay, which is a different story, but well, no, it's not. So those who don't know, I don't want you to ever be the brother. Okay, because that'll be it's not, a lot of people are, let me say that. A lot of people are the brother. And who's the brother? So there was the son who went away and clowned and spent his whole inheritance, and he coming back to his daddy just wanted something. Okay, he like, I'll be a servant. Like, I just want to come back. I want to be in this space. But then the brother, when his dad reacted, wanting to have this feast and just celebrate his son coming back, he was jealous. Like, yo, I've been here this whole time. What's up? Like, what's up? And oh, as I'm talking, God is talking to me. Okay, he's talking to me. Okay, because when the bonuses came out, I was like, Yes. But what about let's bump up them rewrites though. You know what I'm saying? Like take them rewrites up a little higher, buddy. Like, yo. But I was excited for squad, but I don't know why. I had a little bit of the brother in me. So even that space of being like, God, like I've been here and you will continue to take care of me. And I'm so grateful. But if it takes that to encourage that person's heart to know that you haven't forgotten them, to know that this is a space where they can thrive and connect, to help them redeem everything that they've lost. Yeah, well, I may have lost some things, but right now it's not even about me. It's about encouraging their heart and getting them connected to you, getting them connected to this space, helping them to dig some roots. My roots are already established and I know that you'll take care of me. And so don't have the heart posture of the brother who was jealous of the feast, thinking that he deserves a feast because he's been here. I'm telling you, that heart posture is so wrong. It's so wrong because God has been faithful and you should be on another level of maturity when it comes to your relationship with Christ. And I bet you if you treat the brother right, he'll actually want to bless you because of how you opened your arms and let him back in with no reservations, with no frustrations, like, right? With no irritations, like, should I really give them my time? Like they wasted my time before, so I'm not gonna really, you know what I'm saying? Let me just give you that closed heart posture, right? Not an open heart, right? So that was so good. But I'm saying, don't be that brother. And so I'm talking to myself too. Don't be that brother, because ultimately being in a heart posture of like, bump what I'm talking about, because ultimately when we help people here and it works, it changes our life. It does. You don't even have to worry about yourself. Now, I'm telling you, it's somebody like me who's going to pay attention to your chart to make sure that you're in the right spot and that you're doing the right things, right? This is why communication is so key, and why when you enroll stuff, we should kind of strategize and work through that. But on the flip side, all you have to do is worry about helping other people. And if your focus is helping other people, it'll change your life. So even when it comes to this distributor goal, which today we need to sign 10 distributors, I know we can do it. First of all, be inspired. Like the Latinos, they're already 100 over already. And I mean, they did it like over the weekend. Like they jumped up like 100 distributors. One girl just, I think two Latinas already hit the 100 over by getting their team excited. Why? Because they have an open heart. And they're acting like the goal is their goal. The goal is their goal. What would you be doing more if it was actually your own personal goal? Would you be doing more? Would you be talking to more people? Would you make more phone calls? Yes, you would. Yes, you would. And so that's how you have to have, that's the heart posture you have to have when doing this business, period. Period. Every time you, that was the ratchet in me, wanted to give y'all a song, but God is working on me. But and I wanted to go get Zoe because she be in it, y'all. She'd be like, man. Okay, anyways, bring it back. Period. You have to be in that heart posture, because when you put yourself in that heart posture, your life will change tremendously. So yeah, who on here? Let's see, Michelle going her reloading her Ruby, or Lydia going Diamond, or Bernicia working on her executive promotion, or Keisha working on her re-rank, or what Robin working on her like all of that. You should take that on personally, because when you take that on personally, it's better. We're better together. I promise you, you'll show up in a different way. You will show up in a different way. And so, yeah, we do it for our team. But when you start to cross the boundaries and go over to other legs that you have nothing to do with, it'll transform your whole business. Who can I serve today? Who can I serve today? So good.
All right, I'm gonna be real honest, real quick. I was gonna be quiet, but I'm learning my taps. Come on, Jesus. So, well, for those of you that don't know, I'm a relauncher, but like my past experiences in the business, my incorrect heart posture, I know, is what kept me from going where I desire to go. And I know that this is even a conversation that Rachel and I had several times, like, just her asking me like, how far did you get before? Or, what happened last time? Or, what was going on that time? And it wasn't the mentorship, it was the lack of accountability with the mentorship as well. Like I didn't have that spirit of conviction then to be like, hey, you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself. And it got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm tired of my team, or well, I'm not helping you. And then I'm upset because like, why you not moving? Like, you know, I need this. Like, why are you not doing anything? And baby, when I say, coming to the squad has opened my eyes up to so many things, because like Rachel said, we are better together. And it's like, you gotta wake up, because sis, granted, yes, you may have signed some distributors, like you may have signed some customers. Okay, that's cool, that's cute, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, that's not like, that's what you're supposed to do. But why is your heart not right? Like your heart is not right. And you're even in a position where you're not even trying to fix your heart. Like it was bad. It was really nasty. I wasn't even trying to fix it. I didn't care. I was like, I'm here for the money. Like I didn't care. So coming here and seeing that, and then just realizing how God will literally open your eyes, and you have to realize the signs and take the hint, because you will be the reason why you're held back. Like you will be the reason why you won't succeed. Or if you're like, why I've been trying for this promotion for so long and it's not hitting it. Like you gotta click into and realize, okay, God, what is it that you're trying to tell me? Like you have to shut up and be like, God, what is it that you're trying to tell me? Because the moment that you allow him to for real speak to you and speak through you, things will catapult and stuff will pop out of nowhere and you didn't even know where it came from. And I'll just be like, Lord, like this is what taste and see is. Like this is real life taste and see that the Lord is good. Like it's real. So just realizing that you have to check yourself, and you can't just keep saying like, oh, I'm fixing my heart posture. Like there's a lot of times when you go through your journey with Christ and you have to just for real, just be quiet. Like you don't need to tell nobody. Like you don't need to say anything out loud. Just shut up and let God do what he needs to do through you. And you can see how things will fix itself, even if it's through your team and not necessarily through you. Like you will see it fix yourself. And baby, just learning that just blew my whole mind.
I can't even say anything because y'all done said everything I've been thinking for like this past week. I mean, Rachel got me reading Living Beyond Your Feelings with Joyce Meyer. And then like, I didn't want to read it because I'm like, I don't even need that. I'm past my feelings, or what I'm feeling, I should be feeling. So, so it just really took, like I had to pray about it. Like, all right, if I'm really trying to relaunch and be coachable, then I need to listen and do this. And so I asked God to like work on me. And something Rachel usually says is how you do anything is how you do everything. And so God opened my eyes to like my parenting and my relationships and my friendships and my business. And I was making the same mistake in like literally every area. And just that wake up call that God just gave me, and like working through the process of communicating better with everyone and taking those breaks to retreat and getting that spiritual development and that prayer time with God. Like, hey, for real, look, I'm struggling right here and you need to help me because somebody about to get cussed out today and it's not gonna be good. So like just taking a step back and yeah, really being coachable and seeing, like trying to coach people as well, and then having my team do little stuff that I was doing, and just being like, ooh, this probably pissed off my upline. Like, or if they weren't at the level that they're at, if they weren't doing the personal and spiritual development, I could see how my behavior has probably irritated people too. So I had to like that humbled me a lot. And I still got a ways to go. I ain't like, I don't be cussing people out, but I ain't saying I don't want to. So I got a ways to go. But y'all have said, you be want to cuss people out, Rachel? Oh, Lord. Okay. So probably wants to cuss me out a couple times. But yeah. Y'all been on it today. I'm so glad I got on this interview. So thank you. Thanks everybody for sharing.
Let me reply back to that. So here's the thing, y'all. When you put yourself in that position where somebody makes you want to cuss them out, who's in control?
They're in control.
Yes, they are in control.
I have given my control and power away at that point.
Yes. And so that is something that I have had to learn over these years, y'all, that I am in control. And this is where the SDPD is so important, because I will never be a pawn. You won't move me around a chessboard, okay? I'm not movable. If I'm moving, it's because I want to move. If I'm reacting, it's because I want to react. And so it's that slow to speak. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all that I remember when God put me in this like Zechariah season. If you've never read a story, go read it, okay? Put me in the Zechariah season where it was like, yo, shut up. Like, be quiet. Like, you can't say nothing. If y'all know, Zechariah couldn't speak until the vision came to pass. He couldn't speak until the vision came to pass. I can make up my own revelations on why, right? So God didn't, because life and death is in the power of your tongue. So you can literally negate the promise of God, literally negate the promise of God. And so he decided, you're not negating this, because if y'all know John the Baptist, that was important. It was really important. Like, you're not gonna negate this. Like, you ain't messing this up, bruh. So I'm gonna just go ahead and zip it up for you where you can't talk, you know? Like, I'm gonna help you out. Like, let me help you out. So sometimes it's that Zechariah season, just, just eat it. Eat it. Because some of us need to eat it anyway. You need to eat it and sit in it. And then sometimes, y'all, there's a reason. Everything has a reason, right? So a lot of times it may be you need to be mindful of the company that you keep. So kind of like how you said, Alice, like you're eating it so that you can really see what you're allowing in your life. Maybe to transition and go to a different place. Find some healthy people. For me, sitting in it has helped me understand more about myself, especially when it comes to my family. So sometimes just like sitting there, you know how you always got something to say, well, especially with your family, you just be like, you know what I'm saying? Or girl, no, or whatever. Like, I don't think that's right or whatever. Like sometimes we need to just shut up, like just sit there and listen. So you can kind of learn about where your habits come from. So you can learn about where I want to say curses, but really it is like the bad habits that you have picked up and don't even understand that you picked them up. But maybe if you just be quiet and just listen, and then later on journal about it and be like, okay, now I realize where this came from. I remember my grandma had a comment about everything, even though it all referred back to Christ. It was almost like a resentment that her kids weren't serving God. And so she had to remind you every single time that ain't godly. Okay, if y'all know grandmas that's been in that place, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Them grandmas be like, yep, pray, let's pray. You'll be like, grandma, stop. That is not gonna connect with them. They do not hear you. Okay, like they don't hear you. Like you should whoop them. Like, grandma, they don't whoop their kids. Like, what? They not connecting to that. Like, they not hearing you. You know. But they always had something to say, because it's almost like this place of desperation. Like, I'm just going, you know what I'm saying? That y'all say, we say, let me see who say it. I don't know who one of y'all say it. Somebody say with old age that, you just say whatever you want to say. You still want to say it with wisdom. Okay. We still want to have wisdom. And not all older people have wisdom. So I'm just sometimes, not all of them. I'm just saying. And so when you sit in it and you just be quiet, you can learn things that you've never imagined or learned. And just sitting back and realizing the company that you keep is something that Robin and I have, or more so me, I've been having these discussions with Robin about some of the people that we hang around, and I'm just not there anymore. Like, and so I'll just be quiet. I want to be respectful, but I'm just, and I'll tell you what, when you sit in the silence, God will give you courage that you never thought you had. He will build up courage inside of you. He will give you strength that you didn't even know you had the ability to tap into, because ultimately you're tapping into his strength. And you'll be so nonchalant about it, because a lot of us have FOMO. Real talk. FOMO, like, or like, what will they think if I decide I ain't rocking like that way no more? Or, and it may be subconscious and you may not be willing to admit it, but I know that's facts. I know it's facts, because I know personally that I've been through it, and leading y'all, I've seen it a lot. Like you're so afraid to say no because you don't want to be viewed in a different way, and you don't want to miss out. And so it's that transition. It's godly girlfriends. It's okay. I'm deciding I really want to kind of flirt and date with Jesus. And what about my life? But ultimately he said, you have to give up your life, and he's created you a new person. And that don't mean whack. That don't mean whack. And I'm gonna tell you, you can fake the funk all you want. You ain't faking out nothing. The only person you faking is yourself. And ultimately, when you think you conniving and you switching up, and you know how you used to back in the day in the streets, like you'd be like, okay, I got away with it. No, boo, you ain't getting away with it. It's not, you didn't get away with it. That's a trick of the enemy. For you to think that you got away with it is the trick of the enemy. It really is. I bet you it's gonna come back. And if you're not still enough to see it, you won't even realize it came back to get you. And that's why you're in that place of confusion and just like not clear-headed. And let me say this, another thing back to my ring situation. So, oh, come on, let me just testify, okay? Oh, Jesus. Somebody who used to drink and smoke all the time, okay? I'm gonna talk about the drinking more than the smoking because I stopped smoking. Like my husband brought me out of that. Like he didn't like it. And so if that's what God had to use for me to stop smoking weed, then praise the Lord, okay? Because I was obsessed with my husband, still am, okay? Still am, yes. But I was obsessed with him so much that I was willing to stop smoking weed because he didn't like it. So that was what helped me kick that addiction. Because I wanted to please my man, okay? And that ain't right. I ain't telling you that's right. Don't stop doing something for a man, but hey, God used it. He can use everything because all things work together. Okay? And so I stopped smoking weed because of him. But I used to drink so much that, and it's crazy, I kind of think back to it like the wine and, you know, just in the middle of the day or just going to have a margarita for lunch, and the small things that I was losing, or I couldn't remember, how my mind wasn't functioning at the highest level that it could function at. But I want to be in control of my mind. I don't have my high school graduation ring. Do you want to know why? Brittany, this gonna make you laugh. I don't have my high school graduation ring. When we went during Upper Bound to, what was that water park over in Godfrey? What's that water park? What is it? The water park in Godfrey.
Raging Rivers?
Yes, we went to Raging Rivers for a field trip, and I was so high that day. Baby, I was high, okay? You didn't know that? I was high. I lost my ring and had no idea where it was. It probably was, if I would have had my mind right, I probably would have knew exactly where it was. But that's another thing for me. Like when it comes to your mind, you want to be able to use your mind. Like you want to be able to unlock all parts of your mind. And so that's another thing. Like God will help you sit and things like that. Like you're so forgetful, girl. Old age will make you forgetful. Don't help it out. You know what I'm saying? Like old age will make you forgetful by itself. So we out here drinking no tropics, but you may be doubling back. You know, you might be you drinking your skinny brew, but then you go get high. So now you're canceling stuff out. Now you still can't remember nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you defeating the purpose, right? And so those type of places today, y'all, like I'm telling you, it's how God just takes it from place to place to place. And you have to surrender to it. You have to surrender to it. And I'm gonna tell you, surrendering don't feel good until you do it. And even when you do it, you have to say that, oh, how can I say this? And some of y'all can speak onto this. When I surrender to things, like even, I'm gonna talk about submission. So even like submitting to my husband, right? Being in this place of submission, having a heart posture of submission. You don't have to understand to submit. You do not have to understand to submit. And so even with myself, I'm like, all right, I'm submitted to what you want to do. And sometimes I have to check my heart posture because I'd be like, all right, that's what you want to do. So that means when they mess up, you taking the responsibility. All right. Like, okay, y'all don't get it. But for real, I'll be like, all right, whatever you say, husband, because that's how it should be for God. Whatever you say, God, because ultimately you're taking the responsibility if you said it, right? And that's giving up that control. And y'all know, strong Black women, you want control, but you're supposed to live a life out of control. But when you're submitted to the one who's in control, it'll change your whole life. So even when it comes to, and you're like, well, we ain't talking about like ranking up and signing customers, and I am for real. Because if you're fully submitted to it, so even when it comes off of here, you'll work. Holy Spirit will convict you. You'll make the phone calls. You'll go over and beyond. You'll go live, even though you're nervous, and just get on there and do what you need to do. If you need to swipe and turn the comments off and just talk like you're talking to yourself, you'll do it. You'll do it. You'll take on the responsibility of, I said I'm gonna be at 400. So I'm gonna be at 400. I said I'm going executive. So I'm going executive. Even if I'm the one who's enrolling and pushing the volume down, God gave me the goal. And so if he'll give me the right things to say to the people, some of y'all, God said, call the distributors underneath you. You still ain't called them. You texting them. You're disobedient. Like, why are you texting them? Call them. Well, maybe they at work. So let them have a missed call. And then follow up with a text message like, hey, I'm just checking on you. Kind of want to connect with you because it's the end of the month. And I want to make sure that we hit some pivotal goals for you by the end of the month.
I'll hop in really quick. When you were talking about the we call them generational curses, but they're really cycles, right? They're cycles that in roots that nobody really addressed, and so they just continue on because it's behavior based, right? Most of them. And so when you were talking about that, and I was thinking about like even me and with drinking, okay, because me and Rachel, we used to go, we were goers, okay, we were goers. And so when I sat down, I think it was 2019 when God really showed me that I needed to stop drinking for a season. And in that season, I realized that it was a cycle, and it was because of the life that I lived. Now, I worked full time and I was stressed and things like that. And it was always because of that. Like I needed an escape. I needed I'm going to the drive-thru. These people didn't stress me out. Oh, I'm going here, this, and that. So it was always that. And it was like, okay, where did this come from? Like, and I started digging. I'm like, oh, so this grandparent, this uncle, I said, oh, so this is a continuation of just all the time. And I was like, oh, I will not be that. I will have control over my mind, over my behavior and the things that I do. And the same thing that happened in, I believe it was 2018 when I did keto, I decided to stop the cycle of the bad relationship with food. And it was emotional eating. It was verbal abuse. Like it was just so many things that caused me to have the relationship that I had with food. And then I had to really dig up the roots. I think it was Pastor Mike Todd that had I don't know if it was called Family Ties or something, that really talked about digging up the roots and finding what those roots were and where they came from. And I did that. I did the same thing with food. And I decided that the same things that have been ailing my family will not happen to me. And no matter how much I'm a sweetie or things like that, it doesn't matter. I'm going to change because I have control over it. God has given me control. God has given me dominion here. So I have that choice. And it's the same thing with our business. It's like we go through cycles, whether it's up and down, low seasons, high seasons, or whatever, but we have the choice to decide that I'm still going to remain constant. I'm still going to remain consistent. I'm still going to do what it is that I'm supposed to do. And God, because you gave me the strength to do it, because you gave me the dream, you gave me the vision, you gave me the word that I will be successful and I will prosper here, it's on you. And I trust you. Like, period. Like I'm out here, like they say, crazy faith in it before it was crazy faith. Look, it's me and you guys. Like if you don't do it, I don't know who else is gonna do it, but really getting to that point to where it's like no matter what, you still have to move your feet. And it's the same thing with every aspect of life. It's not just the business, but everything, even the spiritual and personal development. If you don't pour in, you can't even get to the point where you recognize the growth, because you won't change unless you won't change just because you get older. There's some old fools, okay? You have to really grow in your mind. Seriously, you have to grow in your mind. And we talk about this all the time. People are like, oh, I'm old and wise. No, that don't come just automatically. Yeah, you have life experiences, but really applied knowledge is where you really get the understanding. Like growth in God and the identity in Him is where you really start to see the change. And so, yeah, it's it cycles, and it's like deciding that the cycle will stop with me, and I have the ability and the power to change what has been in my family and what has been in my life to what will be. And that's so good. And then the last thing I was going to talk about is my pastor really encouraged me yesterday, because he was talking about planes and how they do holding cycles. And sometimes if there's more than one plane coming in at one time, so like if there's planes coming in from all these places at the same time, they'll put them in holding patterns in 1,000 feet increments. And so people at the top, and I was like, come on, Jesus, because he said you'll see people at the top and you'll think they have it all and everything, but the person on the bottom in the holding period for the plane is the next one to land, the next one to see the glory, the next one in line for his goodness and for his greatness. And it's just like some of us might feel like we're at the bottom, and we see people at the top and we feel like, they got this, they got that, they shine and they this, but little do you know, God has you at the bottom because you're next. You're next, like you're the next one. So if you could just hang on until you get the word that it's time, you will see it. You will see it. So be encouraged.
I'm trying to get in here, y'all, but here I go. I guess I'm in here now. So, Rachel, I'm glad that you had us on this fast this month, because I never made it 21 days. I always started and never finished, but I actually made it, and so many revelations this morning. So many revelations. And I also want to thank you for encouraging me to come out the house, because I started the gym, and so listening to Robin just a few minutes ago, Robin, Jesus, you opened up something for me. It just clicked, that I have been holding on to things and not just, releasing it, even though I thought I had, even though I thought it was gone, even though, those cycles and from being molested at a young age, I've shut people out, and I have a way of just moving forward, but shutting doors in the process and not letting people in where they need to be in. And I think that's what I've been doing in my business. I've been shutting some doors, even though I've been doing the process. I've been shutting some doors. And so me going to the gym showed me that I was shutting doors, Rachel. So when you encouraged me to go, it wasn't nobody but God. It wasn't nobody but God, because it showed me that I've been shutting doors, because I've been comfortable being right here in this house and not letting people in. And so me coming out of that comfort zone and meeting those people at the gym and fellowship with them, it opened that door up for me. And so it's a cycle. And, you could be old, Robin. When you said an old fool, I was going like, well, that's me, because I just been an old fool over here. But I just want to encourage somebody this morning that you can do the things that you need to do, but you just got to release it and find out that God let me know through this fast that I was just holding stuff that I didn't have to hold. And I just got to release it and just let it go.
Oh God, we thank you. Oh, that is so good. Thank you, Miss Shania. That is so good. All right, you guys. So we only have 2 days. All right. And I'm gonna say we only have days, but we have 2 days, because 2 days is a lot of time. Okay. It's a lot of time. And so right now, actually drop in the comments Like, do you know what it is that you need to do in order to close this month? Do you know? Do you know what you're pushing for? Like, if you don't know, then you need to find out. Like, you literally need to text your enroller or your upline and be like, all right, where we at? What do I need to do? I want to get clarity on what it is that I need to do. If you don't know at all and you're not connected, like, you can always reach out to me. But I'm gonna tell you, there's so much you can be shooting for, but ultimately we keep the main thing the main thing. Like, we really do. It's enrolling customers and enrolling distributors. And y'all, it is 31 people on here. If every single one of y'all, including myself, and my husband on here, so I'm gonna say 2. So I would sign 2 distributors. If everybody signed a distributor before the end of the month, this would push our team goal to the next level. It would push our team goal to the next level. And so everybody committing on here, like, I'm gonna get my one. And if you already got one, get another one. You know what? Get another one. And I just pray right now and just decree and declare as we go forward that all of you all will begin to take those limits off and open up your heart so you can go diamond and above and you can thrive in that space, because you can't thrive in the diamond and above space for years. Hello, thank you, Jesus. To God be the glory, without an open heart. Your heart has to be open. And we with that heart posture of knowing that we do all things unto Christ and we grow in wisdom every single day, you know, like, you have to let go of the world customs and the things that the world teaches us. So that means that you have to stop listening to it. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your ears when it comes to the things of the world. And you have to open yourself up. And I highly suggest y'all come get into the Women at the Well with me and actually participate, like, prioritize it. It will change your life. This is something that I started back in 2018 with just 2 other girls. Well, actually, it was 3 other girls. 3 other girls, we started it, and it's become something so much greater, and it's changed everything, and it still changes everything to this day. And I don't want to hear about, you decide to tap in. I don't want to hear about, like, I'm so far behind. No, you're not. Today's the day. Today, read Psalms 121. Like, that's not what this is. Like, it's not, I ain't read none of Psalms. So Psalms 121, jump into it today, read it. Like, you will come back. If you stay with us, we'll be back in 5 years to Psalms. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll be back. Like, it takes 5 years to read through it the way that we're reading through it. But I think 4 years, something like that. It'll transform your life, because that's what the word does. It does. It's crazy. It's what my bishop was talking about yesterday. It's what my pastor was talking about. Like, the word will change you. It will. Even if you don't understand it, it will. I promise you. And then getting in there and reading what other people are saying, like, it'll transform everything. And I'm not saying that just because, like, I'm a part of it. Like, for real, like, it's I don't even know what that even means, because I'm out here like, God, how is it that we are starting something about reading 1 chapter of the Bible a day? Like, what is life? Like, that's it? Yes, that's it. And it will transform your life. I promise it will. So drop it in the comments what is needed. Yes. Yeah. Sierra, I want to see you go Ruby this month. Have you went Ruby? Are you re-ranking? Have you went Ruby already?
Re-ranking.
Yes, I want your goal is to re-rank Ruby. Yes. So get with Shanice or Keisha. I want to see you re-rank that Ruby. Yeah. What is needed? Yes, let's get it, Day. Yes. Everybody else, what do you need? And it don't have to be drawn out. You could be like, this person, Ruby, this person, that you should know right off tops what it is that you need in order to, come on, Rosetta, you focusing on Ruby. Yeah, I know you're pushing towards Ruby, but what's the next step? And that's what I like to tell the leadership all the time. What is your next step? So your next step, if you're not at 400 PBV and you're not going executive, it would be to get to 400. So getting to 400 in personal bonus volume. If you are going executive, meaning you have 2 distributors under you or 1 distributor that's already at 400, you might as well go ahead and press the mark and get 1 more distributor and help them get, because you're supposed to sign your 1, right? And go and help that distributor get at 400. So like Bernicia, you working on that. All you need is 1 distributor and help that 1 distributor bring in 380 and you're executive. So that would be what you're pressing towards in terms of your mark. So everybody on here, what is your next step? If you already reached executive, if you're not commission qualified, what does it take to get 150? Do you need to place an order today? Or do you need to sign a customer? What is your next step? And really tap in, y'all. Like, be willing to sacrifice for your business, y'all. When you sacrifice for your business, it always pays. and does, because when you put your sacrifice in it, you'll move differently when it comes to you talking about it and when it comes to pushing towards the mark. So it's 11 o'clock, y'all. I'm about to pray, and it's going to be an amazing day. Make sure you pay attention to, we'll be dropping the calendar for the month. We'll be talking about the highlighting people. Y'all, 10 more distributors. I do a drawing for $200. One person will win $200 cash. So get into it. Like, get into it. Some of y'all, listen, that $200 could be more than your check. Okay. So sign your one distributor and get into it. Like, for real. I'm gonna pray. It's gonna be good. If you are coming to St. Louis, get your ticket today, y'all, because that's gonna sell out, because a lot of the squad is coming into town. So get into it. Get into it today, okay? Get into it today. I'm about to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, I just love you. I honor you today. Thank you, okay? We thank you. We thank you for your presence today. We thank you for how we are releasing things today. We thank you for how we are surrendering today, how we are giving it all to you. We are casting our cares onto you today. And those who are struggling to let go, God, I just pray that you give them the strength to do it. God, we thank you for the unity here. We thank you that we are better together. And we praise you in advance for the wins. We praise you in advance for blowing the distributor count out the water, for having record number of promotions this month, God, how people are getting these re-rank bonuses, how they are getting the diamond bonuses. And God, we are going to press and run through the finish line. We're not pulling back at all. We're running through the finish line. We know that you can do anything, and we believe it, because with you, all things are possible. And so we know you can do 10,000 in volume a day. You can do 50,000 in volume in one day. And actually, there's no limit in terms of what you can do. And so God, help us to take the limits off and just believe and press towards the mark. And so God, we thank you in advance. We thank you in advance. We thank you in advance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.